And what's up? And welcome to a very, very special edition of The Voice.
Hey, St. John.
Hey, what's up? I'm here with my co-host, Nyla. What's up, Nyla?
What's poppin', Johnny's?
And we got a very...
I'm so excited! We're on Snapchat.
If you can't tell, you guys probably seen it on all our social media and all around campus. We have the voice of New York, Angie Martinez.
Hey, what's up, Angie?
Hello, guys.
How you doing on this wonderful day?
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you.
Very
Do you know what
happy to
today
have
is?
you.
What's
Do
today?
you know what right now is?
What's right now?
This is officially the first stop of my book tour.
Hey!
The first stop?
This is it.
St. John's is the first?
This is the official launch of a book tour.
Oh, this is
And
great.
it's happening here. How perfect is that?
And we are so honored to have you
Is that
here.
because of J. Cole? Did J. Cole have anything to do with
It
that?
wasn't really so much planned, but how perfect is that?
That is.
And it makes so much
That's
sense.
crazy.
It works out so perfectly.
Yeah, it was planned.
It was?
It was-
Oh,
It was planned.
I was about to say, no, I really believed you.
I wish I thought that far ahead, but I did mention to him that I was coming here the other day.
He was excited?
He was very excited about that. He gave me the black fist on the
Love that. Love that.
text. Yeah.
So we just gonna dive right in. So you talking about how you and J. Cole are close. How did you get J. Cole to come about to help you write with the book?
Well, the thing is that wait, I'm really trying to post my Snapchat here. Okay, it's on. I just want people to know we're here. Okay, good. So what happened was, where's my book? Can we get a copy of the book so they can see it? So on the back, you get all the quotes and stuff.
Right.
People that kind of co-sign you. See, here it is. This is it.
Mhm.
Forward by J. Cole. So the back, I got some quotes from some great people. Sean Carter.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little Pharrell Williams. Anyway, so just people to kind of like, this is what authors do. They get little cosigns in the back. So I asked J. Cole for one of those. I didn't. The team did. Would you be interested in writing something for Angie? And he just wrote this amazing. It wasn't even a quote or a forward. It was just his thoughts about my career and about hip hop in general. And he sent it to me. He was like, I don't know what it is. He's like, I tried to write a little quote, but it felt corny. I just wanted to kind of write what I felt. And he's like, you could do whatever you want with it. And so I asked him, can we use it for the forward? Because it really just perfectly sets up what I was trying to say in the book. So, and he's just so dope. He's such a
Awesome.
great writer.
He really is.
And I feel like he just really captured what I hope that this book overall will capture in just a few words. Like, it's short for a forward. It's only a page and a half. But really, like, the man couldn't have said one more word. It was like, it's so perfect.
Dang, I can't wait
So
to read
thrilled
it.
and honored to have it. Yeah.
I can't wait to read that. That's going to be good.
Maybe we'll read it today when we go down to the
To the Q&A after
Please
the
do.
DAC 206.
I mean, this is the official launch. This is J. Cole's house.
I know,
yes?
this
Yes,
is crazy.
yes.
We may have to do that today.
So, what
I have
initially...
to see if I'm legally, if I can do that.
in legal terms. Okay, I don't want you to do nothing you can't get in trouble with,
No,
but
no,
we'll
it's fine.
appreciate it. Or it just don't got to be done on air. Just between us.
It wouldn't be the first time I got in trouble with something on the air. So.
But what initially got you interested in doing radio? Like, how did you get started?
Oh man, I was my mother was in radio. She worked at like a jazz station in New York, CD 101.9 at the time, doesn't exist anymore. And I got you could read about this, by the way, in the book. I was 16 and got sent to Miami because I was messing up at school, and my mother sent me to live with my aunt for a while. And so my mother then followed and got a job in Miami at a Miami radio station, and I was interning there. And so I just was an intern, and that turned into, learning everything about how a radio station works. And by the time I was 18, I moved back to New York. I need some water. And then and then I don't know, I feel like I grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? I've been at it since I'm 18 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did the whole transition from like a radio station in Miami to Hot 97 work?
I went to Hot when I was 18. So I moved back to New York after I had took a little break and went to Miami trying to get my mind right. At 18, then I got an internship at Hot. They were like dance music. They used to play like dance music, like straight up like
80s, 90s like dance music.
Like straight up 80s, 90s dance music and freestyle. And yeah, it was a different type of station. And it didn't matter to me. I was just happy to get a job there. I was just like, whatever. But I was still, hip hop is what I loved.
Right.
And I was lucky enough to be at a place that was becoming the first hip hop station to really, this is the first full-time hip hop station ever. So I was there while it was happening, and I was a kid, who was in love with the culture. So I was at the right place at the right time. Thank God.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone like, me or Nyla who would like to get into the field of radio?
That's a great question. What advice? I think you have to just find out. You just figure out what your thing is. I love that you were telling me about your show. You do what? It's called No Genre.
Yeah.
I think that's dope. I think that's something that people will connect with you, and you can. You know what I mean? It's just about finding out. It's about being honest with your audience. First of all, people got to get to know you, and people got to get to trust you, and so don't put on too much of a show. I would say, just
right.
what I mean, be honest with your audience. I think is a good thing.
Got you. Thank you.
So, what inspired you to write your book?
Well, man, when I left Hot and I went to Power, I think I was so surprised at how much it mattered to people.
Controversy?
Not just controversy, but people like really coming up to me in the street like, wow, when you did this, or I related to this, or I'm so inspired by this. I just felt all of this like love, and a lot of it. And not that I haven't always felt love from the city. This is one thing it's like the thing I'm most grateful for, besides, like my family, is that I don't know, it was just so much love that I felt like I wanted to share more about the things I've learned and the things I've seen. And I just feel like radio especially is not well documented. You know what I mean? We look at rappers all day. We read about their lives. We hear about, how music's made, how videos are made. But I think that the history that happened, especially when I was coming up, that history that happened on radio is not really well documented.
It's not.
So there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of things I've seen that sometimes I'm like, nobody knows about that? So it was all those thoughts. It was me being filled with emotion from getting so much love from this city. And then it was like, you know what I mean? There's so much that I feel like I could share, and so many lessons I learned that's important to do that and to document.
I have a question about one of the lessons you learned.
Okay.
I saw you post on your Instagram, I think chapter 5, and then it was like a picture of Pac and Big, and it's like very emotional. Can you like touch on that?
I mean, could you imagine? Wait, so how old are you?
20.
Okay, yeah. So imagine so I was probably about your age, probably maybe a year or two older. Imagine you have the opportunity to start your career, you're growing in your career, and you're surrounded by these two the most amazing, like who to you is the most amazing talent right now? Oh, I don't even want to put
right now. I gotta say right now.
Wait, can we say it?
I don't really think I'm an old head.
All right, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anyway because the story has a bad ending. I don't want to put that on anybody now. But imagine that you're coming up and you see this greatness and you're around it, and then I was put in a point in my career where I actually had an opportunity to talk to both of them, to Big and to Pac, at a time when it was really, tense and hostile, and I was starting to understand. Not to be, cliche, my book is called My Voice, but I really started to learn the power of my voice and how I could actually maybe help, or I could actually, if I use it wrong, could inflame a bad situation. So that's the first time I really got in touch with that. And unfortunately, that situation was so much bigger than I was. And everybody knows what happened. But so to see greatness, to be surrounded by greatness, to be someone involved, or even be able to touch it, and then to watch it be gone. Right. To watch it'd have been terrible to watch Pac get killed, right? Just that alone. Then it would have been terrible just to watch Big. Like, those are two huge tragedies, the biggest probably ever in hip hop, and they happened around the same time. It was devastating. And then I'm at I'm working in a place where I know all the people around them, all their friends, all their so if you could kind of put yourself,
so like everybody's affected.
Everybody's affected. And then it was a crazy time. So then even when I was writing it, I felt super emotional. Look at you with the Hail Mary beat in the background right on cue.
I got you. So what was it like being
I love that album, by the way. That Machiavelli album was so crazy.
Yeah. So what was it like being in the middle of like all that East Coast, West Coast hip hop beef? Because you were talking about Big and Tupac, so clearly, and when you were coming up, that's when like it was at its peak.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like,
what was it like being in that?
Yeah, like what was it like,
How did you handle it?
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was terrible. I was young. I didn't know how. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how. I did my best to. I was I don't know. I lived in New York too, so everybody was like, felt like, how should we feel about this? Is this a war? Are we at war? Like, what's happening here? And then I got in the middle of those feelings. I got a call from Pac, and I had never met him, and he wanted me to be in a video that he was shooting, and I was like, hell no, because I got to go to back in these streets tomorrow. I can't be in these streets, and I just, we're at war.
Do you remember which video?
It was I Ain't Mad at You. It was I Ain't Mad at You. So I said no. Well, he didn't call me. His person called me. And then when I said no, they called me back and said, well, Pac wants to talk to you himself. I said, okay. I never met him. I tell a story like in detail in the book. But so then he calls and asks me why. And I tell him, because are you crazy? No way. And then he said, well, come to I said, there's some things you need to clear up. Like, this has to be put to bed. He's like, well, why don't you come? He said, I'm shooting a movie right now. I can't come do an interview with you. But why don't you come to L.A.? I'll fly you to L.A. and we'll do the interview here. So I went to LA. It was my first time like really traveling like that, really doing and that was like my first big interview. And so yeah, so I went and it was just a crazy time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a crazy time.
That's amazing.
And then you learn, like, because from that I came back with this interview that could have made a bad situation even worse. I mean, I know it ended terribly. There was nothing that I could do in that but my piece of it, I sleep well at night. Yeah. Because I know I didn't do something to contribute, and I could have, and it would have benefited me greatly. But I made that decision, and I'm glad I have, because it has defined me, my career, all this whole time. It's like, you really got to do the right thing, man. You got to do the right thing by the culture, no matter what.
Yeah, that's dope. And in the book, you go a little bit more in depth about that interview with Tupac,
yes,
right?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I use excerpts that were never heard.
Really? Yeah, because
I think it's important to show why I didn't, right, and what my intention was, because people always like, put the Tupac tape out. I mean, every day of my life somebody's like, where's the Tupac tape? But I'm like, it's not about that. And so in the book I kind of I wanted to show why at that period I didn't do it.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So like, besides like, Tupac and Biggie, who's your favorite artist to like interview?
Oh my gosh!
I saw you just did Birdman.
Yeah, I was watching that one the other night too.
Did you watch the Birdman interview? Did you like it?
It was.
I thought it was great.
I'm glad he came back.
No, the funny thing is he didn't. And my interview was first.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would have asked him about the whole Breakfast Club thing.
Oh, I thought you were just trying to like avoid.
No, I wasn't. I would have totally been like, "What the hell was that about?"
Oh, I didn't know that was first.
No, the reason what happened was Birdman came in, and by the way, I loved my Birdman interview. I think. Because I've interviewed him before, and it's challenging because he's not somebody who likes to do interviews.
Right.
So this time around, I felt like, all right, I'm not going to pressure him about the stuff everybody else wants. You know what I mean? Let me just get to know him as a person. And the man, like, he lost his mother at 2, lost his father at 6. He was, like, in the care of the foster system, no parents. It was so sad because I asked him, I was like, if you never had a mother, how do you have relationships and stuff? And he said that. He was like, I don't even know how a woman is supposed to treat you. He's like, when I was a kid and I was sick, I just have to lay there till I'm not sick no more. And when you hear his story like that and you realize he was in jail at 16.
Yeah.
And then, did this huge, like, groundbreaking $30 million deal before the age of 20. It's kind of, his story is kind of ill. And when you take away the drama and the hype and all the other stuff, when you just look at his story, he talked about doing a documentary, and I think he absolutely should. But anyway, so I taped the interview. Then he went to the Breakfast Club the next morning. And I didn't air my interview because Prince passed.
Oh, okay.
So I held the interview out of respect because I wanted to pay tribute and salute Prince.
Right.
So then when I put it out after, it looked like it was after, but it was actually before. Hell no, I wouldn't have let him come in my room and not ask him about the Breakfast Club, which is so crazy. That whole thing was so crazy. And it's a shame. As funny as everything was, and I mean, I was in on the jokes too. It's a shame that he went in there like that because I feel like it distracted from some of the amazing things he had to say.
The point of being there. Hostility.
But he
got it off his chest now.
But it's a good interview. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, you should absolutely do that. It's online. I think his story is ill. I mean, he's tough to interview, boy, that one. But but I got a lot out of him on that one. So
I thought that was super dope because you were able to get stuff out of him that you may not have heard at another interview before.
Totally.
Like when he was talking about his family and stuff like that, I was like, wow, this is like...
And his kids, right?
His kids, yeah, and it's like one of his daughters like graduating. I was like, this is pretty deep. I was like...
I loved our conversation.
Yeah,
I was so mad for him. Not for me, but for him, that I felt like, wow, people are not going to hear this story because now you just went in there and flipped on the Breakfast Club. And of course, that's what everybody always gravitates to if there's a drama.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I mean, and the memes were funny. So
the memes were beautiful.
Put some respect on my name.
No, what was really good was the song. Did you hear the put some respect or the Anthony Hamilton's hi?
They made a song.
My people just walked in here. Yeah, they made a song about it. I shouldn't be playing it, but it's really funny.
No, I
gotta really
check
funny
that out.
and catchy. Yeah. So unfortunately, that took away from some of the conversation that he had. But
so tell me what is your relationship?
But that J. Cole interview was
that's about that. Yeah. What is your relationship like with Cole for him to write that? Like, how long have y'all known each other? What's going on?
I just adore him. I think he's absolutely one of my favorites in the game right now, if not my favorite. I just think I love when I see somebody who really cares about his craft and really cares about his voice and what he has to say and how he uses his voice. And aside from his talent, you know what I mean? He's super talented. But aside from his talent, the fact that he cares about what he puts out in the world is to me like the best part of him. You know what I mean? I think it matters to him. And I think he's smart about it. And he's a student of the game. He's not somebody who's just like, willy-nilly out here just doing whatever. Like, he's paid attention.
Definitely strategic.
He's strategic, and he should be, as people should be. You should be smart about how you use your voice, how you use your platform. And I just think he's dope. So we've connected over the years. We've done a few interviews in the past, and every time I see him out, we just vibe. Like, he's just good people, and it's not like we hang. We're not at the mall or nothing like that. But when I do see him, it's always like it's always an authentic, like, genuine conversation. And so when he said this, I was just floored. I just was like, I wasn't going to have a forward on the book. It wasn't like my intention. But when I read it. And I think I'm going to have to read it for y'all on the Q&A today when we go down there.
I think you should.
I mean, first stop on the book tour. I'm in Cold School. It feels like...
It's only right.
But you guys can't tell anybody, okay?
Nah.
You got my word.
It's only for St. John University students.
You have my word. I won't say anything.
When will the book be in store? Because I was trying to get one to prepare for it, and I couldn't even get one.
May 17th, it'll be out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's coming up on us real quick.
What are we, like 15, like 2 weeks away? We're 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away, yeah.
So you can pre-order now. Pre-orders are very important from what I understand, so you can pre-order now.
Oh, okay.
I guess there's some sort of discount you get if you pre-order, so you
okay. I think they may want to like Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah, right.
Right, it's a good discount, and then the 17th you get them. So
cool. Something I really wanted to know about you. When you were transitioning from Hot 97 to Power 105, what was that like?
Have you ever had another job?
Yes.
Tell me 2 jobs you've ever had.
2 jobs where I worked I worked like retail. I worked
like where? Tell me specifically.
I worked at Tilly's. I worked at a camp near out on Long Island.
2 different places.
2 different places. There you
go. Similar feeling.
Similar
feeling for me. It's the 2 different places and 2 different ways that they operate, which was what was exciting to me, to learn a new way to do something that I've been doing for so long. But ultimately, I'm still me. So wherever you put me on the radio, if you put me on the radio at St. John's, you put me on the radio at Hot or Power or wherever, ultimately, I'm going to still be me.
Right.
It's just how do you get things done is a little bit different. So the building is a little bit different. You have to learn how to, if I need promos, if I need a commercial cut, if I need it's like learning how each different building works. And there's the Power is housed, by iHeart, which is a huge...
The number one
radio
company.
There's just a lot of different types of opportunity that I have now, which is one of the reasons I went. And no, it's been good. I can't even front. It's been good.
How's it like? I know you're not on the Breakfast Club, but what's it like working with like Charlemagne and Envy and stuff like that? Just having them around.
Yeah, they're I love them all individually in different ways. Envy and I are friends. We've been friends. He used to work at Hot back in the day, so I've known Envy for many, many years. Our kids actually play basketball together. And he's just good people, like family oriented, just good people, put a lot of years in. Charlemagne is like, he's a student of the game too, and he's really works hard and cares about his craft. People, you can say what you want because he's opinionated.
Right. Very.
He is very. But there's something to be said about being brave enough to be that opinionated. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
I feel like, you kind of have to respect it. And he's been super supportive of me. And when I got there, he was like one of the first messages. Like as soon as I got there, it was like, "Hi, I heard you're coming. If you need anything," it was like he was one of the first people that reached out. And Angela Yee, I just adore. She's, she's everything you think she is. She's funny and she's cool, and she,
I think she's actually supposed to be on campus at some point.
Is she?
Yeah, because we have like an event here and she's judging it.
Yeah, you'll see. She's mad cool. And she cares about what she does, and she works hard, and yeah, they're good people. They're workers. We all workers. We do this because we love it. So we do it for different reasons, for our own, and we're all different. Our personalities are different, but we love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
do you love it?
I love it. This is great.
Is this what you want to do like forever?
Yeah, this has been the best decision that I made since I came to college.
Really? What about you?
I feel the same way.
This is what you want to do?
Yeah. Me and him we don't have the same show, but we're always together. Like, we take radio classes together.
Is this your first time on the radio together?
No.
No, well, no,
Oh,
together,
yeah.
yeah. But we take radio classes together. We just finished up a class here, so we're
went
familiar with each other. Oh yeah, we actually went to
92.3.
we went to 92.3. We
was
met
cool.
Toro last
Okay.
week. That was pretty dope.
Well,
Took some pictures.
Diamond, bring them around. Give them a
Diamond.
little tour.
Yes, please bring me
Please,
around. I'm trying
please.
to
Come give them a little tour.
I'm just gonna plug myself. You know, I applied for the internship. All right, I'm just gonna plug myself real
Okay,
quick.
all right. That's good to know. That's good to know.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I have read
Yes.
Lala's book. I really like.
I like Lala's book.
Yeah, Lala's book, and I feel like yours is gonna be similar to it. Just pretty much because you guys are both. She started off in radio with Ludacris, and then. But I just feel like times have changed, so it's much harder. Like you said, you're on radio at 16, and like now you have to be at least 18, enrolled in a accredited school. You know, like all these
Get that
things just to get an
internship.
I was
internship.
an intern at 16. I wasn't on air yet. I wasn't like
Were you on
okay.
the? Were you ever
You
on
were
like
doing,
the
like,
street team
promotions?
or? Yeah, exactly.
all of that. I did a street team. I did anything anybody wanted. Back then, the rules weren't so tight, so I could work for 20 hours a day and nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, keep her here, let her live here.
Right.
It's fine. And so I did that. I worked every
just absorbed
department. I
everything.
absorbed as much as I could, which is what I recommend to anybody who's doing an internship. Like, don't go into. Can I just? Because I'm sure people are listening that are going to do internships. Don't go up into it. Don't get an internship and go up in there and wait for somebody to notice you. Don't go into an internship and wait for somebody to ask you to shine. Like, you gotta go in. That's your opportunity to go in there and be in front of people who could actually put you in position to do something. So it is your business to go in and not to be obnoxious, not to be annoying, but it is your business to stand out. It is your moment. And I see so many people miss that. Like, you're just kind of waiting, and then your internship's over and you're out the door. Like, make it matter, make it count. If somebody asks you for one thing, do 4. You know what I'm saying?
That was good advice.
Yeah.
That's great advice. Yeah.
Yeah, hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Hit the ground running. Like, yes. Make
your
it
foot
so
on.
like when your internship is over, they're like, dang, she's gone.
We need her.
We need her back. Yes. Otherwise, then what's the point of being there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They should need you.
I
So
like
yeah,
that.
that's my
Awesome.
advice to
Again.
our interns.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
No,
guys.
this was
Thank
really
you for
awesome.
having
I'm
me.
like, it's such an honor. I can't even.
Yeah.
Well,
I
come
don't
visit.
even know
Come
what
up
else
to the
to say.
station and
Oh,
come and
we'd
we'll give you a
love
little
to.
tour.
Tell
Oh,
she gonna make my
please,
heart fall out my
please,
chest. I
please.
can't take it.
It's gonna be a good time. All right, we're going to the Q&A, right?
Yeah.
What time is people going over there?
They're already
They
there.
should
Are they
over there
waiting?
now.
Are they
Yeah.
listening? Can they hear us in there?
No, if they're
No?
there, they're not listening.
Oh, dang.
It's all good.
It's
though.
all good.
I'm gonna play this back. Don't worry, it's going on the blog. It's gonna be played back. Don't worry, this is going everywhere.
SoundCloud,
That's what I'm
everywhere.
talking about. Focus. Extra step. Go the extra
you go.
mile. That's what I'm talking about, mama. All right, well, good. Well, I hope you guys love this book. I wrote it for people like you. People who love it too and love the culture. And I wanted to share these stories, and I wanted to share some of the things I learned and give you some insight and some information. And I do encourage people to put a little extra work in a few times during the book because I think it's important. But it's my story, and I hope you love it. May 17th, everybody go out and get it. And
Check
we're
that
go,
out.
We're gonna
Beautiful,
go talk about it
yes.
in the
Cop
Q&A,
that
and
ASAP.
we're gonna we're gonna do J. Cole today.
Yes,
so
I want to hear
excited.
that.
Yo,
We getting
yeah.
exclusives.
You have no idea.
Unless they yell at me when I walk out this door, that's my plan.
Oh dang, I hope
yes.
I still may do it anyway.
not. Please.
Please read it.
All right,
for
come-
us.
Come to the Q&A. We'll see you guys.
So
there.
Deck 206 be there.
This has been a very
Where are we going? Deck 206.
Yeah.
Deck
All right,
206.
Okay, 206.
Deck 206,
All right.
and we'll be starting in 10 minutes. So I hope to see you guys there. Go
See
ahead.
ya.
Yeah, this has been a very, very special edition of The Voice. I'm Gabe.
Nyla Simone.
And I'm Angie Martinez.
Hey,
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.